Who's your meow face? You're a meow face. You're a little meow face. Yeah. Hey guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Freaking Wednesday here. Tomorrow I get to work from home. Friday I get to work from home. Let me tell you, last weekend was amazing. I think I said it on the video that I probably won't be able to make it down to London until next year now because their fishing schedule is different than ours, and that's all Bloke and I do now is we go fishing. However, next year Bloke said he might come up here because our fishing schedule opens sooner than his. Maybe. They might change it next year. You never know. Regs get posted in December for the new year when ice fishing season opens, and Bloke already said he's not interested in ice fishing. So, however, normally the third Saturday in May, which usually falls on the May 2-4 weekend, bass, pretty much everything opens up here. Bass, walleye, pike. Muskie doesn't open till like the end of June. So he said he might take a trip up here and come and fish our lakes. And I was like, yeah, man, come up on the May 2 for a weekend and we'll go hit up some lakes. Maybe I'll have the boat running by then. Well, I have the boat running. The boat runs. It's just, holy hell, you got a hammer on it. I got to do some work on the trailer, and I got to do some work. I got to get new tires for the trailer. Rex told me just go to Canadian Tire, get your bolt pattern, go to Canadian Tire and buy the whole rim assembly. Bolt it on, you're good to go. He goes, don't just buy a tire and put it on the rim because it's not worth it. And he's right, it's not worth it because it's like $100 for the entire trailer tire assembly with the rim or with the wheel and the tire. I keep calling it a rim, but that's what basketball players shoot hoops into. And it's like $70 for just a tire. So might as well get the whole kit and caboodle, and that way there I get a new valve stem and everything is hunky-dory, ready to rock. Might as well pick up two while I'm at it and replace them both because, oh, they're both looking pretty weather checked. And then once that's all said and done, fix the trailer wiring, you know, take the marrettes off, put proper heat shrink on it, solder the wires together, you know, do it professionally so they actually work longer than one trip out. Then maybe next year, Bloke comes up, we can just drag the boat down to Armstrong, launch her at the point, head out on Trout Lake and go murk some bass. Have a good old freaking day. Fishing from the old squeaker seeker, eh? Could be a good time. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I could sell the boat, but like, I own it. It's not costing me money to keep it. I own the boat. It's mine. It's not like I'm making payments on it. It's not like it's costing me money to have it sit in my driveway or sit in that tent. Not a big deal, right? So it's just to start it. It's a pain in the ass. You really got to Armstrong it. But you guys are right. I didn't film it. I tried what you guys said. I put some gas in the tank. I pumped the primer ball till she was stiff as a ball. And then, you know, give her like friggin' 10, 15 pumps and she was rock hard. I couldn't pump it anymore. Sure enough, one pull. It was a pain to pull, but she freaking... And I shut her down right away because I didn't have a bucket of water on it. My neighbor said you can run it for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, no problems without it being in the water. It won't do any harm. He's like, but shut it down the moment it starts. Like, once you confirm it starts, you're good. You're good. Tons of compression. But yeah, in London, their bass season doesn't start till the 4th Saturday in June. So that means like for me to go down to be Canada Day weekend, and then we can go down and play in the Thames again and go bass fishing and all that and have some fun. But yeah, sure enough, I showed Bloke when I was down there because what he was fishing with before was he had I think it was a jig, I'm not sure, but he was using that with the Senko. Problem is there's so much slop on the top of the water that you cast it out and it would just rake back a whole bunch of grass and it was no good. I didn't realize he had EWG hooks, so I showed him how to Texas rig, and that's the rig he caught his bass on. And he's like, oh my god, that's such an amazing rig because he cast out in the slop, and when you bring it back in, there's no slop on the hook. He fell in love with it, and then he caught his bass and he really fell in love with it. He's seen why. Like when I first went down there on the August long weekend and he saw me fishing with a Senko, he's like, you're not going to catch anything with that. That's way too big. The fish aren't going to eat that. And then sure enough, I pulled in that Fat Sally out in St. Thomas, and he was like, okay, never mind, I take it back. So he bought some Senkos too, but he just didn't have he bought EWGs at the time. I didn't know he bought them. And then I showed him how to do a Texas rig, and now he's so into it. He went, I don't know if he went on Amazon or what, but he ended up buying he bought a pack of EWGs like I have, which comes from everything from 1/0 to 4/0, and you get like 50 hooks. Pretty sure he's in it now. Wait till I show him how to fluke fish. That's real fun. fluke fishing. Oh man, so good, so good. You whip it like a jerk bait, or you can just soft retrieve it. I usually like to whip it like a jerk bait, and the fish just annihilate it. They see that thing twitching in the water and they can't help but to react. So, but yeah, probably won't be until next year when I head back down. It's just the way she goes, right? It's a lot of traveling to go down there and fish, and like, you know, it's 4.5, 5 hours in the truck. Like, I left there at noon and it took me 5 hours to get home. I didn't get home till like 10 after 5, and the reason for that was the 401 was pretty jacked, and it took me a while to clear that. And the 401's always jacked because they're always doing construction on it. It's where the MTO is trying to guarantee their budget or some shit, but whatever. But yeah, once I cleared that and got on the 400 and Highway 11, it was pretty much smooth sailing from there. Like, the moment I cleared Barrie, the roads lightened right up and I could just coast. I could just give her, kept her at $110 and just blazed home. Don't want to go too fast in the truck because you get the RPMs over 2,000 RPMs and she starts to gurgle hard. I found around $110. She stays at about 1,650 RPMs and I'm pretty good. But I still went and fueled up on my way home. You probably saw me pull into that gas station. It was $1.46 a liter. In town right now, it's $1.60 a liter. Yeah, I stopped in there and fueled up. I still have like, I'm down an 8 from Weber's to North Bay, which anybody who's traveled the route from down south up north, you know how far that is. It's like just outside of Gravenhurst. So yeah, it's not too bad. Maybe like 230 kilometers. And I just went down 1/8 of a tank, which is perfect. Plenty of gas in the truck to use and we're good to go. But yeah, I'm hoping Bloke goes out on his own there this week and plays the Texas rig some more. And I'm hoping he sends me some pictures of some fat sallies that he's pulled out of the lake. It's going to be friggin' dope if he does. I'll include them in the video if he does. Unless, you know, he did mention that he was thinking about coming back to YouTube. He was debating on coming back to YouTube. His only thing is he hasn't been on YouTube. He hasn't uploaded a video for almost 10 years now. His last video was like, what, 2014, 2013, somewhere around there? That was the last time he's put a video up. He never charged his camcorder. He had that Canon camera. So who knows if that battery has any sort of chemical compound in it to even retain a charge anymore. And he hasn't edited a video in forever. And unlike me, you know, he's more hands-on construction contractor savvy, and I'm more technology savvy. It might not be like riding a bike for him to jump back into the editor and start cutting a video. It might expect phone calls, which I'm fine with. Like, if he calls me up and says, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? The only problem is he's using Magic's Movie Edit Pro. I haven't used that editor since 2015. I switched over to Sony Vegas in 2015 and then just kept using that subsystem because it just offers a lot more cooler stuff. But I'm sure I can figure it out and help him out with it. But yeah, I told him, I said, dude, you got a decent phone. He's got a Galaxy S22. I'm like, if your camcorder doesn't hold a charge, just use your cell phone. Like, that's what a lot of YouTubers are doing nowadays. They're not using a damn camera. They're using their damn cell phone. This is the reason why camcorders no longer exist. You can still find camcorders on Amazon, but they're not making them anymore. Panasonic is only producing prosumer shit, filming like cinemas and stuff. Same with Sony and the rest of them. They're not actually making camcorders because cell phones do a great job. So why make a consumer product that you already have in your pocket? It's not feasible. Cell phone killed the camcorder market. You know, I film with a GoPro myself because I just prefer to have a dedicated device for filming. But and then I got to thinking about the whole having 2 mics set up. You know, I got those lapel mics that plug into your cell phone. I could have always clipped one on Bloke, had one on me, set the phone to record audio, and just did an audio sync afterwards. Would have been a bit more editing and a bit more annoyances and stuff, but it would have worked. And the file wouldn't have been that big. It's audio. It's like a WAV file. And then you guys could have heard Bloke loud and clear, even when he was like, you know, 40 feet away from me down the bank carp fishing. You would have heard him loud and clear. Mind you, the GoPro Hero 9 did a pretty good job. So that's a thing. Yeah, you probably noticed the boat's pulled ahead a little bit. I moved it up a bit so I could actually start the engine without hitting the garage, because literally the boat, when I had it backed up, it was like yay from the garage. I had it tucked in pretty tight, so I just pulled it ahead a bit and we're good. Why did my hood pop? I didn't even realize that. Huh, anyway. So yeah, something else I noticed today was I got an email from GoPro because I'm registered on their system, and the GoPro Hero 13 is coming out. Do I expect any massive changes? No. Probably going to be a feature or 2 extra on it, but nothing fantastic. But I don't know when this happened, but between the GoPro Hero 9 and the Hero 12, there's been this massive change in the file format. So with the Hero 9, as it's recording, when a file reaches 2.079 gigs, or 2.07 gigs, we'll say, it starts creating a second file, and it names it the same thing as the primary file, but puts 01 at the end of it, and then 02, and then 03. So if you're recording like a 30-minute video, it'll segment it out into like 4 parts. And because of the way it numbers the videos, when I pull it into the file explorer, it looks really weird. Like it's you really got to look for the files. On the Hero 12, however, it will just make, if I were to do this entire video in one take, never turn the GoPro off, leave it on record, and just walk around and talk to it, it would just make one video file like 34 gigabytes. So it has the extended FAT instead of using FAT32. I don't know when GoPro made that change, if it was on the Hero 10, the Hero 11, or maybe just they started that on the Hero 12. If anybody has a Hero 10 or a Hero 11, let me know what happens if you make too long of a video, because let me tell you, knowing that makes me want to put an even bigger SD card than this one and start using it for fishing, because this is the reason why, like on the GoPro Hero 9, I turned on hindsight, which what hindsight does is when the GoPro is running, it's recording all the time, but not to the SD card, to buffer. And it'll record 30 seconds in behind. And the moment you hit record, it grabs that 30 seconds, adds it to the file, and then carries on. So I'd be sitting there fishing, get a fish, and then I could tell the GoPro to start recording. It would, I had the voice commands turned on, it would start recording, and then I wouldn't have to take my hands off the rod or anything to hit the button or anything like that. And it would get everything from the hook set. Unfortunately, it also records me saying GoPro start recording, or if you press the button, the beep of the camera starting to record, it would do that too. But now I'm understanding what anglers do, and I noticed it on fishing with, was it Fishing with Fletcher? One of the fishing videos I was watching, Buddy had a GoPro remote attached to his fishing pole. He'd set the hook and I saw him press the record button. So now I understand what's going on, is he's using the remote and he's using hindsight on the camera. And this is a tip and trick that none of these YouTube anglers tell you about. It just saves on editing. Like rather than sitting there and recording the whole 5 hours while you're out on the water, you use hindsight and you can record the hook set and the fish eating and just cut out the parts that you don't need. So like you'll probably notice when I'm fighting with the fish is jump cutting at a certain point, it's either because I said GoPro start recording, or I pressed the button and it beeped, and I just wanted to get that out of there to avoid confusion. But yeah, hindsight. GoPro Hero 9 has it. Not sure if the 8 has it. That's some new feature that I didn't even know about, and then I found it and I was like, I wonder what the hell this does. And it's like, I read the info on it and it's like it picks up anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds of footage before you hit record. And I was like, oh, let's give that a try. And I tried it out, and sure as shit, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So yeah, it's the end of fishing season. Well, we can still go fishing up here until the end of October, and then November and December, the lake becomes a sanctuary and you can't touch it until ice fishing season starts, which who knows what that's going to be like this year, if I'll even be able to get out, because if the lake don't freeze, I can't play. Just how she goes. But yeah, the GoPro Hero 13 is coming out. I don't plan on jumping ship to that. I'm still really enjoying this Hero 12, even though it does have some problems every once in a while, but it's probably because I, hit it with a 4x4 while cutting it. Yeah, kind of abused it a little bit, just a little bit. And I overheated it a couple times trying to film in 4K, so I learned my lesson there. So another thing I wanted to bring up, I put up a video a while back of AI singing a song based on comments on a video. A lot of people, I've been seeing comments of people saying, oh, bring back commenting on comments, bring back commenting on comments. And I really don't want to do that. But then I got to thinking, what could be even funner than commenting on comments when I just literally type in the comment. Like if there's a comment I want to comment on now, I just click reply and I comment. And sometimes the person who left the comment will reply back to me and we'll have a conversation in the video comments. The only reason why I don't want to do commenting on comments anymore is it wasn't that good of a series. It was just kind of, some people loved it, a lot of people didn't. So I was like, no, we're doing the AI music. Originally I built the AI system to work with the Wise cameras because they have MPEG RTSP mode, which permits me to pull in a stream, which I can do with AI pulling a stream. And then when somebody new comes up to the door, if it doesn't know who they are, it'll ask me and I can say, okay, this is who that is. And then it'll notify me via via text and say so-and-so is at your door. So like originally it was called the Sentinel Project, to keep an eye on the property. If there was a stranger on the property, it would text me and let me know. I have it linked into that camera, the one on the front of the house and the one in the garage, so that it would notify me of any intruders. You know, if it detects wildlife, it lets me know, hey, there's a cat in the backyard. Hey, there's this happening. Hey, there's that happening. Sorry, I had a rock in my shoe and I kept stepping on it and it started to really hurt. But yeah, I originally started off as the Sentinel Project, and then I trained it on image creation using some programs from, you probably heard of it if you're into the AI stuff. There's a website called Hugging Face, stupid name, but whatever. And they have a bunch of large language models there, all different projects and different things that are open source, free to use. Go ahead and have at it. So there was one on there for diffusion. Diffusion is a large language model for creating images, and I tried using it to make YouTube thumbnails and different things, but diffusion just makes it works, but it doesn't work. Like trying to make a thumbnail for a Rust live stream or make a logo, it doesn't know. Like I tried to make a new logo for the channel Skivens and it just fumbled the bag on that, and that rock is back in my freaking shoe, or it's stuck in the bottom of my sock. All I know is I keep stepping on something and it's pointy. Probably because I'm wearing Crocs right now and it's not smart. Anyway, so yeah, I basically stopped using the image creation, but then I was browsing Hugging Face. Actually, my friend showed me a site called Suno, and I was like, oh, that's a cool site. Then I did some research and realized they released their large language model version 3.5 called Bark for open use. Now, Suno, you can create a song pretty quick, because you're literally connected to a mainframe with tons of AI processing power. I'm using a freaking 3070. I'm using a video card. So, but the thing with Suno is you only get, what? They give you 50 credits a day, and it's 10 credits per song render. So you can make 5 songs a day. Where when you're running it locally on your local resources, you can create as many songs as you want. If you're running it on your local AI system, Suno will protect against, not copyright, but like, you know, certain content. Like you can't put swear words in it. It'll find them offensive and prevent that from being created. You can't use, like it wouldn't even let me use farting out bullets, because my buddy sent me this TikTok of a guy who made a song about a cowboy sitting on his gun and farting out bullets, and I was like, that's hilarious. And I went and tried to replicate it, and Suno came back and said that there was vulgarity and it refrained it due to sensitive content or whatever, and revoked the request. When you make a private version of an AI, drive it off your video card, as long as you have something with AI capabilities like tensor cores or whatever AMD uses, you can do it through your CPU, but it'll take forever because CPUs are garbage for doing that kind of work, where a video card is just more efficient. Yeah, you can produce interesting songs. So I trained it all up, do it using the utilities from Hugging Face, and got Bark going, trained it on different music genres, trained it on different voice patterns, started feeding it information like, okay, write a song about this, write a song about that, and letting it go. And then if it didn't come out right, okay, keep on training it, keep feeding it music, let it figure out different beats, let it figure out what a tempo is, keep going, keep training, train, and then I finally got it to where I like it, and it's doing pretty good. Like the song Driving Down to Blokes and Back, Bark wrote that by me just giving it a prompt saying, write a song about driving from North Bay to London, Ontario to go carp fishing with crazy British bloke on the Thames River, and the AI pumped it all out. So I was like, dope, it worked great. So I changed the name from Sentinel Project to Sarah, the Sentinel Automated Resource Assistant, and now it basically, I use it to create AI music for YouTube, which is fine. I'm not using it for anything else. There's been a couple YouTube channels I've been coming across lately where the entire channel is done with AI. It's like a voiceover where they're commenting on TikTok stuff, and the voice in the background is not even a person's voice, and you can tell once you've worked with AI models and you've created images and you've created audio, you can tell the difference between what is real and what is fake, you know, what is generated. So it's kind of obvious that a lot of these channels are breaking the terms of services on YouTube. Like, you're allowed to use AI generated content. The music is not copywritten because copyright law states that it's got to be created by AI, like for a song to be copywritten, it has to be registered under the RIAA. So when AI generates a song with its own lyrics, or you can actually pump the lyrics into it, I don't have a cool interface like Suno has. I literally open a file in Notepad and then I feed the prompt that way, or I send it through the command terminal, prompt : / type in the thing, hit enter, and then it just generates and it looks like bollocks, and then it farts out the song into my downloads directory, and then I go listen to it. Suno has a nice website interface. I might build something like that later on for ease of use, but right now I just do it that way. Or I can say generate a song using lyrics and then put in the text file name, and then it'll go pull the lyrics I have in there, and then it creates the song. So the song that I made of Thank You for Sharing That, that's literally what I did. Was I just threw the lyrics, like the comments, into the text file and said generate a song based on these comments, and then the AI went, grabbed the comments, and came up with that rhythm. That's the music you heard, the way the words were laid out, everything. Just did it all. Bark is really cool, version 3.5. Really nice large language model. Can't wait to see where that's going to go in the future. But I get the concern from a lot of my friends who are actual aspiring artists, who are songwriters. You know, they spend 3 to 5 weeks writing and generating the music and getting it set up before they even hit the recording studio and produce a final track, where I can literally write lyrics, feed it to an AI system, hit go, wait 10 minutes, and it farts out the song, and then go, no, I don't like that cut. Try again, try again, try again. And maybe in an hour, I can do what they do in 5 weeks. I get the concern. I do. I 100% do. You know, I'm not a musician. I can do a little bit on a guitar. I can do a little bit on the drums. I can hit a couple chords on the bass. But as far as, you know, standing up on a stage and playing a song, that'll never happen. But AI makes it possible. So, and I'm just using it for my YouTube videos, just to put some background music in that's non-copywritten, and it just adds something to the video. So I don't feel like I'm really breaking any laws. Now, I'm sure in the future there will be laws on AI generated music. There will be some bullshit that'll roll downhill. You know, just like everything that's brand new, it falls into a gray area, and usually they don't meddle with it unless it's causing a lot of problems, and it will cause some problems in the future. Like, YouTube's already shut down a bunch of channels on how to deep fake, and if you don't know what deep faking is, you know, it's where you basically take a video of yourself, like my face right now, and I could like use a deep fake algorithm to remap my face to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know the buff dudes did it in the past. I never checked, but chances are that video is taken down. Maybe, I don't know, because it was like they changed their face and their voice to be Arnold and Stallone at the gym, and that's kind of frowned upon right now, because there's a lot of deep fakes going out there, like Mr. Beast saying click on the link below to enter a contest to win an iPhone 15, and it's not even him doing it. It's somebody else using a deep fake algorithm to produce their face to look like Mr. Beast, because to honestly train a model on that is so easy. How many videos does Mr. Beast have out there to copy different angles of his face and replicate it? Like, I'm not saying they would do that to me because I'm just a little peddly YouTuber, but there's enough angles of my face out there, and for the past, what, 15 freaking years, that they could easily replicate my face and do the same. You know, that's the problem with vlogging, getting your face out there. And that's one of the big things happening right now in the acting industry. There was one of the acting, Josh was telling me, like, one of the companies wanted you to sign an agreement where they could use your likeness without having you on set. In other words, deep fake your presence, because they have all the different angles of the background actors and actresses, so they could easily just take facial profiles, learn a model on it, build a deep fake model, and send it through and fake the background. Fake background people based on who was on there before. You won't even have to be present. And if you sign the contract, apparently you weren't paid for your likeness. How awesome is that? But yeah, there was a bunch of YouTube stuff about how to deep fake, and YouTube was quick to pull that down because of obvious reasons. You know, there was deep fakes of Joe Biden up there saying stuff he never did. At least he doesn't remember it, but I don't think he'd remember it anyway. There was stuff about Trudeau. he was up there saying shit, but it wasn't him. You know, there was stuff about Doug Ford talking about the new Ontario Bitcoin, which doesn't exist, scam, just deep fakes. And a lot of these deep fakes end up showing up in your social media feeds. You know, if you're on X, you get an advert and it's just a deep fake. Facebook, you get an advert, it's a deep fake. I like the way AI is now for creativity. You can do a lot of cool stuff, like jump cutting. There's an AI tool that literally just took like an hour's worth of my editing out. It's a plugin for Magix Vegas, where it literally finds all the dead air in the video and will cut it out for me. So it used to take me forever to jump cut all the blank air and the ums and ahs. You can target those and smoke them, and you click a button, your video card ramps up, you hear the friggin' fans going 40,000 miles an hour, and it goes and it just blows away all the dead air and does all the jump cuts for you. So it used to take me an hour, and now it takes me like 5 minutes. Press a button, walk away, come back, and then fine tune it. It's perfect. Speeds up my editing time. I love AI for that, because like 90% of my edits are literally just jump cuts. Sometimes I add an effect here and there, do a little color grading, whatever, but not really. So I like AI for that stuff, but I am nervous about the future, because like AI is going to take over a lot of jobs. If you think about it, there's going to be like a lot of manufacturing jobs, even right now, like Dad's old job, working in the exploration industry, building tools for mine exploration, basically, you know, ripping holes in the ground and checking for core samples to see what metals are down there, if it's worth the mine there. Well, they used to make all the rods and the bits and all that stuff. Well, before he left and retired, it was one guy running one CNC and 2 AI robots that they just kept an eye on. So instead of having 3 operators running CNCs, it was one guy running 3 CNCs, but all I was doing was monitoring the robots to make sure they were running the tools properly. And if something went wrong, he would go over and fix the CNC and then put the robot back on path, and it would carry on. And that's just the beginning of it, you know. It's going to get down to it where we won't need people to do jobs. Like they have a pizza place out in Sudbury right now. It's just a giant building like my garage. You walk over to the wall, you click on the pizza you want, you tap your debit card on it, the machine turns on and then farts out a pizza in a box. And from what Joss told me, the pizza's really good. So like that literally just shut down a pizza joint. You know, somebody in the back cooking the pizza, somebody in the front running the cash, somebody doing dishes, somebody like these are jobs that young people can be doing to, you know, get some experience working, even though it's probably not what they want to do for a job, but you get some experience working and showing that you're prompt, you're on time, and you're willing to give her. These are jobs being taken over by automation, and it's going to get worse as time goes on. Like even my job doing IT stuff, I'm an amazing troubleshooter, but it's not going to take long for AI to catch up and be able to do it even better. Like I'm just waiting for Microsoft's Copilot to quit being clippy and actually be smarter. And soon Copilot's going to be able to automate repairs on the computers themselves. The only thing it won't be able to do is handle the third-party software or the first-party software that we create and troubleshoot that. But even like your first level tech support, tier 1 tech support, like a service desk, calling into a service desk for whatever, it's going to get to a point soon where you'll be talking to an automated voice that will be able to answer all your questions and send a ticket off to another tier, like to a human, if they're unable to complete it. Like simple jobs like password resets and you know, account creations and stuff like that, that can all be handled by automation. That's usually what tier 1 handles. That's going to end a lot of entry-level IT jobs for a junior systems analyst that just wants to get their hands wet, jump in on a tier 1, get into a tier 2, and go from there. So yeah, it's gonna create some interesting issues. And I know that that's why they're screaming universal basic income, is because when all these jobs get taken up, what the heck are we going to do to earn a living so we can afford to feed ourselves? Like, is this how AI is going to kill off humans, by starving us because we can't afford to freaking eat? Makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder. Can't afford to eat, can't afford a mortgage for your house because AI took our jobs. They took our jobs, eh? But right now, like using it for creative stuff, I kind of like it. It makes my life a lot easier. I don't know if it makes the videos any better. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, for commenting on comments, I'm thinking about just letting Sarah create music based on the comments, because not only is it fun for me to see what she comes up with, I think it just adds something extra to the channel. And you know, the responses I got from the last one, pretty good. People thought it was fun. People thought it was interesting. It was good. They liked it. People like it. Might as well do it, right? So yeah, but anyway guys, I've been rambling for a while, not sure what else to talk about. I got to call a place called Gee's Tire and get that driver's side wheel fixed on the truck before snow flies, which is probably going to be sooner than later, because silkworms are already in the trees and that's never a good sign. And they're calling for an El Nino winter this year, which apparently is colder than normal, but they're also calling for boatloads of snow last year, and I think I fired up the snowblower once. So I don't trust the weather dicks anymore. Hey, the weather dicks said it was going to storm all weekend in London, and Bloke and I had two of the hottest, sunniest days out there. So don't trust a weather dick. Seems to be the way. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Sorry it was a walk and talk, but so I tend to do a lot because I just have a lot on my mind and not really any friends to talk to. So hi friends. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. If you made it to the end, I don't know, comment GoPros are fun. I don't know, I got nothing. Anyway, until next time guys, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.